upon review, I decided it would be worth showing how these zones are controlled a little bit better. So here's one zone. The controls for the valves are going to be in the garage side of the wall, but right next to where we have all the loops, we ran a little bit of PEX. This went, at least per the instructions, best we could follow, about 6 feet in, right between two of the loops. And it kind of is in a little bit of a U shape, and we supported it about an inch below the concrete surface. And that's so that we can get a thermocouple in kind of close to the surface, a little bit out in the middle of the zone. So you can see there's a wire coming up here. This is from the thermocouple. Goes through, it changes out to a different wire here and comes over and goes up to our zone controller. So we have 6 of these in the house, and it actually is reading the room temperature and then the floor temperature. So here's our air temperature is 56. The floor is set to 57 and is currently reading 56.8. So if we set this to something higher, see this now says heat is on. If memory serves me correct, this is zone 4. And we should see our boiler come alive and hot water start flowing. Yep, you can see zone 4 is calling for heat. We can see on our boiler that is now saying that there is a call for heat, and it's going to slowly turn on. One cool thing about this Rinnai boiler is that it actually has an outside thermostat that we wired to it. So the warmer it is outside, the cooler of water it will use, because it to be more energy efficient. So it will actually, if it's, you know, a 60 or 70 degree day outside, it will bring the water temperature down to like 90 degrees. But if it's really cold, it'll bump it all the way up to 120 to make sure that we're putting enough heat into it. So it's just now starting, and it's going to get this primary loop going, and we should start seeing, yeah, you can see that there's some cold water coming in now. That's that water from that zone that we just turned on. So its pump is on, zone 4. Yep, I can feel it running. So the water it's pushing up here is forcing back water through this return, which is coming up, and why we're now seeing the temperature of what that floor was reading. And in just a little bit, the boiler will decide it's finally time to kick on, because it's still reading decently warm water coming in. So once that cold water makes its way all the way to the boiler, you'll see it start kicking up. Yep, it's pumping out 80 degree water now, and we'll see this start to rise as well. And that is how we are heating our house. It's pretty slick.